The estate. From the floor of the Lone Star cruiser, you watch the top of the downtown quarters office building disappear, replaced by the gray overcast over the I-90 bridge. The nylon restraints binding your wrists and ankles, along with McCluskey's whistling to the radio, make for an unpleasant ride. A half hour later, the cruiser hits a whisper-smooth patch of road, and a magnificent mansion fills your view. Its design of a blend of old-world finery and elvish grace. The car pulls to an abrupt halt, and you're dragged onto the driveway, where McCluskey pulls a nasty-looking knife and cuts your bonds. You look up to see you're surrounded by a squad of green-clad ghosts, Special Forces troops from the Tier 10 Tangier. Massaging the feelings back into your numb extremities, you prepare to meet the man himself, James Telestrian III. Can I go now? McCluskey smirks. Want some advice, moron? Of course you don't. You're a Shadowrunner and you live by your own rules, don't you? I suggest you keep your smart-ass remarks to yourself this time, human. Mr. Telestrian isn't some street meat you can impress or intimidate. He's the brains behind the throne of Tier Tangier and one of the richest men in Seattle. His eyes say, I'd love to kill you now, but his mouth continues to smirk. I got one of the richest and most powerful men in the Pacific Northwest taking care of me, dumbass. What do you got? Indigestion. You're dumber than I thought. Enjoy your chat. I'll dispose of your body later. Alright, Mr. Quoth? The fussy elf with the air of a Victorian butler studies you before he speaks. He doesn't like what he sees. But Mr. Telestrian is expecting you. You will find him in his office. May I look around? You may wait here for a few moments to gather yourself before you enter Mr. Telestrian's office. Some people find that they need time to prepare themselves before meeting an elf of his stature. However, the upstairs is off limits to you, and the library is occupied at the moment. Do not tarry, though. Mr. Telestrian is not one to be kept waiting long. Alright, so is this the library? Okay, that's Telestrian's offices, it looks like. Nothing here. Hey, this guy looks familiar. Good old Algernon. Had some dealings with this guy. Algernon. There's a twinkle in Algernon's eye that wasn't there when he spoke at the Seamstresses' Union. It is good to see you again. There is much to do. Okay, explain yourself. No, I do not explain. I provide a service. Seek me out after you've spoken to James Telestrian. Perhaps I can come of service again. Will do, Maestro. And upstairs are off limits. So, essentially, nothing to do. Alright, let's get it over with. It's not like he's going to shoot me here. As you approach, James Telestrian III looks up from the computer screen, built into the surface of his desk, and assesses you. Calculating and cold, a practiced smile comes to his face. He vibes the kind of rich you don't get from Trivid. It's not the clothing or the trappings or the bow before your better's mansion. It's something else. The feeling that you're being categorized as a resource or a liability or a pawn. James Telestrian III, I have been reviewing the results of your visit to my Seattle office last night. I admit they are impressive. You have generated a considerable amount of damage to my office complex, killed or wounded many of my security personnel, and cost my Vice President of Security his job. In 24 hours you have accumulated quite a bill with me, sir. How do you intend to settle your debt? Alright. First, some instruction. You do not begin negotiating by admitting that you have nothing with which to negotiate. However, you were considering your tactical situation. That tells me you are more than a mere street thug. Allow me to instruct you further. You have one piece of information which you might use as a bargaining chip in this little time you have left to live. Why you took what you took. I am interested to know why you and your team of criminals fought your way through my security teams up to my private office to access the Matrix and uncover the location of a simple research project. Your half-brother Sam Watts hired me to find his own killer. He had a dead man switch. When I find the killer, I get paid. I don't remember finding out that Sam Watts was half-elven. Or, oh wait, there was that back note. I just didn't read it right, I guess. Right. You impress me, sir. My father's bastards are intentionally not well known, even to themselves. Nevertheless, I fail to see the connection between this Sam Watts' death and a raid on one of my office's buildings. There is no connection between the research project and the dead man that I am aware of. Sam was killed by her half-sister Jessica. Jessica is protected by giant bugs. Aegis kills giant bugs. Kill the bugs, kill Jessica, get paid. Piece of cake. I find your bluntness somehow refreshing. He touches a button on the desk. Mr. Quoth, please ask my daughter to join us. The young, pretty elf has dark circles under her eyes and a haunted expression on her face. She recognizes you instantly. It's you! You're the man who helped me escape from Universal Brotherhood. How did you get here? Celestine cuts in quickly. Thank you, Marie-Louise. You have confirmed the identity of your rescuer and given me reason to forgive him for his trespasses against me. She looks hungry for your help. I'm glad you're here. Glad to see you're okay. I'm not okay. I can't sleep at all. I'm afraid that this is a dream, and that I'll wake up there and still be there with the bugs. You can relax, Marie-Louise. You are safe. It is over. No, it won't be over until they're all dead, she shudders. You didn't see them. You don't understand. You and those men, you flew in here. All you do is talk. It's just like you to form a committee, Father. I knew that someone had to take action. That's why I got Hakim involved. The already cold exterior of James Celestine III turns to ice. I see. It was you and your crippled little friend who leaked Aegis to this man. We will speak of it later, in private. Now then, Trax. There are people I wish you to meet. The committee my daughter alluded to. This is a rare opportunity for a man of the streets such as yourself. I urge you to behave. We'll adjourn to the library. Delighted. I don't know if that is sarcasm or not. Just behave. There is a weight in Telestrian's library, a sense of magnitude and of purpose. You are no longer in the presence of mere wealth. You are in the presence of history. Lady and gentlemen, this is Trax. He is the human who saved my daughter and the only one who has faced our common enemy in combat. Per Brachos. What does the representative of the great dragon Lofwer have to tell us about the magical insect this Shadowrunner uncovered? Brachos speaks slowly with a deep, melodious German accent. He takes his time, accentuating each word, relishing each vowel and each consonant, tasting them as if they were a delicacy. I can't do a German accent, so I'm just going to go with it. My lord Lofwer has witnessed the insect spirit's physical manifestation before, roughly 9,000 years ago. As you are aware, magic ebbs and flows from the earth, cycling from peak to peak over the course of 5,200 years. As the level of magic grows, Hans dear, I love you, but you could babble on forever, and I believe time is of the essence. The painted elf addresses you. Harlequin. If you've read Shadowrun novels, that is a name that you will recognize. If you haven't, should read some of the, I think it was like Dragon's Heart he was a part of, that like trilogy. Good trio. Trax, is it? Delighted. The bug you fought was not merely a magically awakened animal like a wyvern or a hydra or something else in the sixth world. In fact, it isn't from this world at all. It's the physical embodiment of an insect spirit from another plane of existence. Is that why I couldn't kill it? Exactly so. Your little buggy friend exists on both planes simultaneously. Now, an insect spirit can't simply thumb a ride through astral space and show up on Earth late for dinner. Dinner, in this case, being us. 2 elements are required to bring one across the void: a shaman and a host. First, the spirit calls upon a shaman, often in dreams. The spirit seduces the shaman with promises of great power. The shaman then accepts the spirit as his totem. Next, the insect spirit requires a suitable host. The best candidate are the disaffected and the disenfranchised, in short, the weak-willed. Their minds are the most susceptible to suggestion, which is helpful in making the transformation. As you might imagine, these are the sort of people easily attracted to a cult, such as the Universal Brotherhood. Finally, by performing what has to be a truly disgusting ritual, the shaman serving the insect totem implants the spirit into the host, willingly or not. Then it's feeding time. Harlequin is correct. The insect spirits will then slowly consume its host, while transforming it into the spirit's own insectoid body, thus manifesting itself fully on this plane. Sorry? No, you don't, kid. Not by a long shot. This is bigger than hunting down an insect shaman or putting a few 9mm rounds into a bug. The initial bugs prepare a nest for the summoning of a queen. Once a nest has its queen, she literally explodes with newly manifested insect spirits. They swarm out of the nest, feasting on all the flesh they can find and implanting more insect spirits into the fresh corpses, again and again and again. The room falls silent as they all consider the scenario. Faces grim, Telestrian breaks the silence. This is not an infestation, Trax. It is an invasion. My lord Lofur knew this day would come, but he did not know precisely when nor where. Your rescue of Mr. Telestrian's daughter has exposed the existence of an insect spirit for the first time in this cycle of the world. We are not early. We merely have experience on our side. The insect spirit is only a resident in the transformed host's body. Conventional weapons can hurt the body and expose the spirit, but the spirit itself cannot be destroyed by mundane means, hence Project Aegis. Telestrian's biotechnology and agricultural divisions worked with my lord Lofur's thaumaturgical engineers and designed Project Aegis to destroy an insect spirit once it's released from its host. The formula, a fluorescing astral bacteria strain, exists in the physical and astral plane at once, and thus can affect the insect spirit. Now that was a mouthful. Did you memorize it, or are you reading off in index cards? My director of R&D, Diane Ravenwood, will explain how Project Aegis will be used in the field. Dr. Ravenwood? Diane Ravenwood. Our weapons specialists have rapidly prototyped a delivery device for the fluorescing astral bacteria strain. They've created some prototype launchers which fire Aegis-filled shells. When fired, the shells will discharge a high-velocity stream of bacteria. In order to destroy one of the bugs, it must first be damaged using conventional weapons or magic until the spirit is released from the host body. Then the insect spirit must be shot with Project Aegis prototype launcher to destroy it. Alright, Dragon and Elf co-created a magical insecticide. Crudely, but accurate. We must stop the Universal Brotherhood from summoning a queen, and we must stop them immediately. You are the only one who has been inside the facility, and the only one who has personally fought these creatures before. That, along with your highly effective assault upon my property, indicates that you are the ideal person to lead the attack. No one's ever used this stuff before, right? The painted elf grins. His red lipstick catches the light. We're foregoing the clinical trials in favor of field testing the formula. Come on, kid. When fate taps you on the shoulder, you've got to pay attention. Unfortunately, she has a nasty habit of tapping you on the opposite shoulder, so that when you turn around, she's on your other side, giggling like a deranged schoolgirl. I hate that. Enough. Are you willing to undergo this mission, Trax? Money. Of course. Here's my proposal. If you prevent the queen from being summoned and destroy the insects in the next 1 million new yen will be divided by the surviving team members. I'm pretty good with the million. I don't think I need to twist his arm anymore. Excellent. Harlequin. He claps his hands as if seeing the circus for the first time. I love the way that the short-lived are willing to die even faster. It's very inspirational. Brockhouse raises his hand, and Harlequin's clapping instantly stops. There is one final note, a warning, if you will. You have seen the danger the insects represent, but you have not witnessed the shaman's power. The shaman must tap into a powerful source of magic in order to summon a queen. We do not know what abilities that power source will grant. Beware of the insects, but do not underestimate the shaman. Hey, don't scare the kid. Hansel, we still need him to go on the mission. By the by, I'm coming with you, Trax. I wouldn't mind seeing these creatures for myself. I missed them last time. Telestrian will bankroll you so you can hire the rest of the team. Find me when you're ready to go, and we'll bug right out of here. He sighs. Yes, speak with Harlequin when you are ready to depart. If you wish to acquire additional supplies for your mission, find my assistant, Quoth. He is highly resourceful.